Brock Purdy's season started with a bang, winning the first 5 games while leading the NFL in both total QBR and touchdown to interception ratio. The last 2 games have been rough, okay? His completion percentage, yards per attempt, and QBR way down, as you see there. And he's thrown 3 interceptions and just 2 touchdowns. So naturally, people were like, oh, what's wrong with Brock Purdy? Did you see a major drop-off in his play, though, Dan?
No, I actually thought he played really well outside of that last 5 or 6 minutes. And even that first interception, not that 30 seconds on the clock interception, the first interception happens because of the thing that has made him so good, throwing the ball before receivers are even out of their cuts earlier in the game. This is Jennings at the very top. Now he's peeking down at the bottom of the screen to hold that safety, get those defenders to jump on McCaffrey. Now look how early he throws this football before that in-break by Jennings even happens. But it's absolutely perfect. But that's his superpower. And I said this, him throwing the ball so early without turning it over was so unique. This time it's Brandon Ayuk with the little inside seam post. He's throwing that ball right when he's getting to that cut. That is called that anticipation, throwing it over Harrison Smith at safety. Again, that's the thing that has made him so different than so many young quarterbacks. Now, this is the pick. There's a little bit of a double move post. You're going to get a little bit of a shake route to the out and then a post. Now, Brock is going to cut this ball loose before the receiver Jennings makes his cut. This is very similar to the first play. He just misses that throw. The timing of that throw, the anticipation aspect of it is off. So I can't sit here and rave about that first throw and say that's what's made him so different. Marcus, that for me is the same throw he hit against the Dallas Cowboys on 3rd and 14. He just misses that one by a yard or 2, and I think the little extra that Jennings does at the top of that route to sell an out route before he goes to the post makes it look like a significantly worse throw than it actually was. I just think the thing that made him so special, that unique anticipation, it caught him at the end and there for an interception.
I'm with you. I think he played a good game, and you're exactly right on the route. That's the same route that Ayuk scores in Week 1 versus Steelers.
Yes.
The shake out right to the post. He throws it more like the drift timing, that kind of bang seam that you're talking about. Yeah. And that's why he misses it. But if he has this guy in there, Deebo Samuel, it's
might be
a different story,
sure. Yeah.
right? Because they have that connection. And for any quarterback, especially a young one, when you take one of the best players in the game out of the lineup, they're going to look different. That's easy offense.
Right.
And also what Deebo Samuel does in yards after catch for this offense, this is the reason why it looks different. This whole passing game for this offense is predicated off of 2 things. Making the passing game look like the run game with the O-line action, running back tracks, wide receiver stems, and then pass catchers with yards after catch. Yeah. It's why McCaffrey's so great in this offense. It's why Kittle's so great, and Deebo Samuel is the best in the league, and he is not there right now.
Uh-oh. Swag.
What?
Because I'm supposed to go somewhere else and talk about this line of scrimmage. And I get it. Like, I don't think Brock Purdy played terrible. But isn't this what the San Francisco 49ers have been trying to get away from?
What do you mean?
We've had these conversations about Jimmy Garoppolo. We've had these conversations about quarterbacks in this system, right? You get opportunities. Here's the thing, Dan. You said Deebo Samuel ain't playing.
Right.
You know what? The timing of that route might not be the same.
Right.
With a different guy running. I'm not here to excoriate Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
Don't misconstrue what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is in the NFL, when you know your personnel is limited, when you know you have things that are going to be different about how you go about your job, he hasn't responded well.
Oh, I totally disagree.
Yet.
Oh, I totally disagree. Here's the pushback I would have with you. The Jimmy Garoppolo experience was the head-scratching, boneheaded, why did you make that throw interception?
Right.
That's not what we saw. And we can't not credit him for last week's game against the Browns, getting them in field goal range and the kick not going in, but then also kill him for that 2-minute drill that doesn't happen last night.
So here's my question. So we supposed to go back in time and forgive you for what we just saw? I don't operate like that. I look at the week. This week in this game, Brock Purdy turned the ball over twice. Any other quarterback, you turn the football over twice. That's not a good game for you. Like I understand he's a 7th-round pick and he missed the irrelevant and he had this phenomenal run at the beginning of his career. He didn't lose any games. So we're a little bit kid glove with Brock Purdy. He threw 2 interceptions.
But Marcus, why the turnovers happen, how they happen,
it's very important. But Dan, if I'm telling you that we're about to play a football game or a basketball game or a baseball game, you don't have your guys maybe my approach needs to be a little bit different in this particular situation than the guys that I usually have. I'm not saying Brock Purdy is not going to live with being a rhythm and timing passer. We know that that works in the NFL. But I'm not going to talk about Tua not getting past his first read because we know he's a rhythm and a timing and accuracy. Yeah. He made 2 bad mistakes yesterday.
Absolutely.
We can say that and say that those potentially cost them the opportunity to win the football game.
I know you got to go. The last thing I would say is this. There's a difference between playing a bad game and having a bad play.
100%. But he had 2 of them. So can we not say he had 2 bad plays?
I disagree.
I was watching the game.
The interesting thing here is going to be if he can get it righted next game, because you're saying
Cincinnati?
This is a part of, and this is a part of how he plays. So.